Hey, Joe here. It's another hot one here in Southwest Florida. Last time I was out at the track, I was testing my stall in the pit area and snapped both axles at the same time. That and the fact that a bunch of races are getting canceled, because of the virus that's going around and stuff, I've decided to do a bunch of upgrades that I should have done to the car over the 6 years I was building it. There were some times where financially I had to cut some corners, and I put some placeholder parts in there. For example, that small turbo that was on the car, that FP HTA 68. It's a great turbo. I've used it in the past. It was perfect to get my car sorted out, but now it's time for an upgrade there. I also put steel rods in this motor when I built it, and with this new turbo making more power, I've decided to upgrade to aluminum rods, so I'll be doing that as well. As far as the axles go, I've decided to go to a Quaife differential that's got 27 spline axles on it. Those are the late 1G and 2G style axles. I'm going to have to piece some axles together and make them work. Hopefully those are stronger than what I've been using, along with a few other things that I'm going to do while the car's down. So let's get started on that stuff. That one. Yep. Got it. Sweet. Thanks, bro. I got the engine off the hoist and on the engine stand, and what I need to do here is pull the cylinder head off. The bottom end is what I'm really going to be disassembling here. I'm going to set the cylinder head as completed as it is right now on the workbench, and I'm actually going to bolt the new turbo setup on while it sits on the bench, so it's ready to just slap back on top of the block when the block's complete. What I'm doing right now is I'm getting ready to remove the timing belt. And just some tips in case you're looking for any. If you use this factory timing belt tensioner tool, you can screw this thing in and you can take some tension off of the hydraulic tensioner right here. And then you can go ahead and stick an Allen key or something in the hole so that this is loaded and ready to go when you reinstall it. So you do that first. Of course, you got to get the engine to top dead center first, which it is. And once it's all lined up, you can put your cam gear tool in there too, so those stay right where they need to be, and take this thing apart so that it's easier to assemble later. With the timing belt off, the next step is to just loosen the head studs and pull the cylinder head off of here. Quick look under here. Everything looks pretty good. Everything's in order. These are a pretty old set of used camshafts, and I believe they're showing the same wear they were showing when I put them in here. They actually had some rust on them, and I cleaned them up real good, and they've worked well, but I think I'm going to try to get these replaced while I have this apart. Oh! Alright, with the cylinder head off, we're now ready to do a little bit more investigating. Quick look in here, these pistons look great. I mean, they really don't have a ton of runtime on them. They really weren't run that hard, so I expect everything to look good. Everything looks dry on the gasket around the cylinders. Doesn't look like there was any leaking there. Something I wanted to talk about, I am logging coolant pressure on this car, and to be completely honest, I don't really know what I'm looking for. I am seeing like around 7 pounds of pressure when I start the car. As I'm going down the track, down the quarter mile, that pressure rises the whole way, linearly down the track, and it rises to about 24 psi. Now, I've yet to talk to anybody who's smarter than me about that, but it does raise a little bit of concern for me. I don't know if it's gaining pressure because it's heating up and that's causing the pressure. I'm not really sure, but I will talk to some people about that. But looking at this so far, I don't see any problems. So let me peel this gasket up off of here and see what else we find. I'm not going to reuse this gasket. I ordered a new gasket and it's going to take a minute to come in. Shipping on stuff, yeah, check out my trash. Shipping on stuff has been weird lately, but it says it's not even going to ship till about 2 weeks from now. So a little closer look here. Man, it looks pretty good. I can't really complain. I don't see any marking on the deck except this little black part here. That's just from the gasket, the Viton coating on the gasket. This all looks great. Assuming everything looks good inside of this short block, the rods are just getting swapped out. The Manley H-beams that are in there are getting pulled out, and the R&R aluminum rods are going in. So that means the pistons are getting reused. I'm not rehoning the bores. I'm just going to put the pistons back in the same hole. So in order to be able to do that, I'm going to have to mark these pistons. I guess I'll have to mark them a little better once I get them out of there. Alright, back out in the garage this morning. Next thing I need to do is pop these rods off these pistons and put the aluminum rods on there. So I gotta pull these circlips here. Alright, so these are the pretty little gems I'm gonna be installing. These are R&R solid beam aluminum rods, standard length for a 6-bolt. Okay, I got these pin locks out. So I'm gonna start with cylinder number 1 here. And what I'll be doing is popping these pins out. Come out nice and easy. That's good. These pretty things are what'll be going in here in their place. Gonna pop this pin lock right back in and I'll be good. Let's see if I can show you how to put these wire locks in. This is how I do it anyway. Put the end of the lock up past this cutout here so you can get it out later. That's important. That's it. You just start over here, roll it right around with your thumbs. It can be tricky. You just gotta keep at it. Alright, these are ready. So I went ahead and dropped the crank back in here. I just hand assembled the mains just so the crank's in here. The next step is for me to install the pistons and rods. I'm going to be doing a couple things here. For one, I'm going to be plastic gauging the bearings, making sure I got good clearances there. For two, I'm going to be checking for rod clearance to see if I need to clearance this block. These aluminum rods are a lot bigger and they could interfere on these main caps and on the block inside here. So we'll take a look at that. So I think we're good with just doing some clearancing on these girdles, main caps. Call them what you will. Okay, I got the rod caps installed and torqued to spec. These are L19 bolts on these rods. So the torque spec on these is 75 foot-pounds in 3 stages. So I did 25, 50, 75. They're all torqued up, so now I'm gonna loosen them up and check the clearance with the plastic gauge. So it looks like I'll be taking some of these parts over to my machine shop, have them look at it and see if they can loosen up these clearances by polishing the crank or whatever they need to do here. While that stuff's over there, I'll handle the clearancing on the block, and hopefully when I get the parts back I can just assemble this thing and keep moving forward with these new upgrades I'm doing. So thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, hit the bell, all that stuff. Go to Instagram, go to Facebook, see what you can find for Joe Wrenches, and follow along with all the fun we're having around here.
Put cheese on it. Put cheese on it. Put cheese on it.